8 classes when I was in law school, got 3 HDs in my last semester. I'll share with you my study routine that helped me get 3 HDs in that last semester. If you're new here, I'm a lawyer from Melbourne. The content that I post on my blog and on this page is right here. So this is a study routine that I use for each individual unit, mainly because it depends on what day the classes are. So for this scenario, let's just say my class for this unit is on Thursday. So on Thursday would be my class. Before my classes, I want to make sure that I have done the readings and watched the lecture beforehand. On Monday and Tuesday, that is when I would do the readings. But before I do the readings, we're going to take it a bit of a step backwards. In step 1, I would review the lecture slides or do some sort of pre-reading before I do the full readings. Because, it's a lot of pages of reading. It's really hard to keep your attention span and focus when there's so many pages. So I had found that when I looked at the lecture slides before going into the readings, I wasn't going into it blind. I knew what to look for, and my focus on doing the actual readings was better. And then that is when I do the readings. While I do the readings, that is actually when I do my main source of notes. I take my notes while I'm doing the readings. It's the longest process, but my notes come mainly from the readings. So when it comes to the lectures, instead of having separate notes for the lectures, I actually just added anything from the lectures into the readings notes. So I'm not having several different notes for lectures, classes, and readings. I'm just having one source of notes, and I just add in as we go. So in the lectures, I would add in anything that wasn't mentioned in the readings. I would add in any points, any cases, anything that was mentioned, highlight anything that was mentioned constantly. If the professor explained something in a way that helped me understand it better, even though they probably didn't use a case law example, I would still put it in anyway and note it down, so it helps me understand it better. After the lectures, go into the classes, and I figured that I don't know why I discovered this until much later, but by the time I go into the classes and done the readings and the lectures, the classes is a good opportunity for me to see my gaps. This is whether or not I participate in class discussions. If I'm participating in class discussions and I say something, I kind of already know that I'm really confident in what that topic is because based on how much I'm talking. But if I'm not talking, I would just listen to what everyone is talking about, and you can kind of tell if you know what they're talking about or not. You can kind of identify your gaps from there. If they're talking about something and you have no clue what's going on, there is your gap. Regardless of how a class is structured or how the teacher approaches the classes, it is kind of a way that you can see where those gaps, those areas are. Then after the class on Thursday, Friday is when I would do my subject review and actually refine my notes to turn them into exam friendly. So with this subject review,